who is no more with us. And he would definitely have been with us today if he was alive. Swami Agnivesh. Swami Agnivesh publicly stated after the killing of Azad that this was a Vishwasghat. This is the word he used. Betrayal by whom? By the government. But I was telling you just a second ago that the government, the state was in a kind of a temporarily, it was like two kind of blocks were there. One was the progressive kind of block who said that what is going on in Bastar and all these places is not a terror problem, it's a socio-economic problem. And there was the Chidambaram led, Home Minister led, all these Operation Green Hunt and all that led approach which said this is a terror problem. So the Vishwasghat, what would you think? The Vishwasghat that Swami Agnivesh pointed out is by only the state which talked about the problem in terms of terror, or was also the other faction of the state involved which treated it in supposedly more progressive terms as a socio-economic problem, and hence we should have a humane approach. They used to talk about a humane approach in those days. My submission to you is that what subsequently happened with Sai proved that both these factions of the state acted together. And Sai himself was caught in this situation. It was not a simple narrative, Stan Swami's case is different. Sai Baba was also an active agent. He also had agency. He was also trying to give shape to a certain kind of a thing around that time. 2008, 9, 10, 11. So the killing of Azad, when Azad was killed, lot of us said, and some people in the hall would remember, lot of us said that there should be an investigation into it. Let there be a judicial committee to investigate what happened, who were the forces behind the killing of Azad. Azad came in good faith to have talks, negotiations, and people like Digvijay Singh, very powerful Digvijay Singh, as you know, the very powerful politician. I am not talking about some other Digvijay Singh. I am talking to the Digvijay Singh you all know. You should all go and ask him what happened. Digvijay Singh knows. Why is he not here today in this hall? Did the organizers try to approach him and tell him, you know everything, sir, would you like to come and address us? Now that Sai is even no more, and maybe you also won't be implicated in anything, it is kind of safe. So Sai got torn between that. Sai was trying to give shape to certain things, but all kinds of forces kind of tore him apart, lacerated him, wounded him, injured him, inflicted tremendous kind of injuries on him. But these are political forces. So the Vishwasghat that happened in the killing of Azad, if that investigation had taken place, and there was some talk at the time, of course, that there must be investigation. Who are the forces? Who is the deep state? Deep state, the NIA, the Andhra Pradesh Special Information Bureau, now it has become the Telangana Information Bureau, SIB. There was no investigation. If that investigation had taken place, then I think those shadowy forces from the deep state that eventually took away Sai Baba and put someone like Hem Mishra in jail, that could have been stopped. That could have been stopped. But the way things were going on around that time, it felt like, the killing of Azad felt like it's happening to someone like Azad. Maybe it will not come at the level of civil society. Civil society got it wrong, if you ask me, I think we thought that, it won't strike us home. It won't come this close. It's like, bombing is happening in Gaza. It's safe. Very safe. So, what went on then was, after the killing of Azad, and around that time in West Bengal, you have the killing of Kishanji. Same thing. There also there was a civil society initiative. You see, look at the patterns. APDR chief, head of the APDR, Sujata Bhadro, eminent human rights activist, civil liberties activist, a friend of mine, a friend of many people in this hall, a friend of Vasanta. He was put by Mamata Banerjee after she became chief minister like a civil society initiative for peace. Every time there is an initiative for peace, there are major casualties. But the difference in the Sai Baba case was the casualties was restricted slightly further away from the urban civil society crowd. In the case of Sai Baba, for the first time, what happens is that the attacks come deep inside civil society, professors, intellectuals, people who are endowed, people who have a lot of cultural capital. The cultural capital could not save them. And then Sai Baba is taken, and along with Sai Baba, other people, including Hem Mishra, Prasant Rai, Pandu Narote, and others, right? But now that we have positive time, let me just tell you one more thing. The Bhima Koregaon case, even though it happens under the Modi regime, let me tell you the file is an older file. The file is from that time, which falls into the hands of the Modi government. And the Bhima Koregaon, that's why you will see the same police forces, the same police officers, the same team which arrested Sai was also involved in the arrest of the Bhima Koregaon activists. So the same Pune police, same Maharashtra police case is what leads to Bhima Koregaon. In fact, the name of Subhas Bawache was taken here earlier. The same police officer, the same personnel are involved. So, so my submission to you is that let us not generalize too much. It is true that there is a political prisoner issue. There is, this question of political prisoners and their rights that we must address. But Sai Baba's case is something which is very, very revealing of not just the state and capitalism and all of those usual things that we always keep talking about, but also civil society and the civil liberties movements, relationship with state power, with not the state power, but also the extrajudicial violence that the state power always potentially carries with it, which is the UAPA. Right? So, it was because you see those similar patterns also happened in West Bengal. So, in that sense, what happened here, it's not like there are no analogies for you. It is not a one-off thing. Right? And someone like Sai, someone like Azad, who trusted the government, trusted the state, there was a betrayal. So it is not just state repression, but it is betrayal by the progressive elements within the progressive state, because UPA was like whatever you want to call it, secular and close to social movements. It is a betrayal by the progressive state. It's not just a betrayal by the fascist state. It's a betrayal by a state which claims to be fighting fascism. And that's why it is doubly serious, the Sai Baba saga. And it all got kind of converged and ate up his life, basically. Took us away, took him away from us. And let's remember that. Thank you.